The Africa Regional Forum on Sustainable Development is scheduled to take place from the 9th to 11th April 2025 in Uganda, as the country was selected to host the 11th session. Under the theme Driving Job Creation and Economic Growth through Sustainable, Inclusive, Science and Evidence-Based Solutions for the 2030 Agenda and Agenda 2063, this was announced today by the Prime Minister Robin Anabanja during a meeting with delegates from the Economic Commission for Africa, the United Nations and other stakeholders at the Office of the Prime Minister.
The President of Uganda already welcomed you and extended his appreciation to you and looks forward to hosting a successful 11th session of the African Regional Forum on Sustainable Development.
The Prime Minister cited that the preparations in Uganda are full in gear, citing that the country is ready and fully prepared for the upcoming forum.
The preparations that were launched on 4th September last year are ongoing, and I can truly confirm, as you must have observed so far in this scooping mission, that Uganda is ready.
The Executive Secretary of the Economic Commission for Africa, Clever Gatete, commended Uganda for its previous successes in hosting global events, noting that the country has the capacity to successfully host the 11th session of the Africa Regional Forum on Sustainable Development.
The whole global community beyond Africa to Uganda. I personally participated in Union. First of all, we participated in terms of electing Uganda, that was still at the United Nations. And then with the leadership of Ambassador Everett, and when it was hosted here, there has been so many stories of the good news, of the facilities, of the organization, of the leadership of the president during that time. So that shows really the capacity. I didn't want to say many meetings which have been hosted here, but that one was a global one. It was not an African one. And it was hosted, it brought in excitement, and we have seen that Uganda has the capacity to do it. So, and with the leadership of the president, we have no doubt.
He explained the purpose of the forum on the basis of its theme, stating that there is a need for Africa to collectively address and rectify the outdated financial system to ensure better sustainable development across the continent.
Maintaining African interests, not only Ugandan interests, and that's why we thought of the choosing the theme. Because having done a scoping over the continent, we realized that everybody, every country wants to create jobs. Every country wants economic growth. But that one, we didn't want to do it the normal way. That's why I'm saying that we need science, we need evidence to guide how we create jobs for our young people, for our population. And that's why we chose the job creation and economic growth, but based on science, based on evidence, so that it is more sustainable. But then there has been a realization that this system needs to change. And that's why the financing for development started. It started in 2005 in Mexico, in a place called Monterrey, and that's why they call it Monterrey Consensus. It was to challenge what they call the Washington Consensus, the way the old structure was made, because the countries have grown since then. They are too big. They need more money, but the resources that are coming to support them is no longer enough. The aid that was supporting them is no longer enough. There has to be new ways of doing things.
He highlighted the importance of the private sector in driving sustainable development, emphasizing its crucial role before proceeding to the signing of the country host agreement.
We need the private sector. And the private sector need to see themselves as the center for development because they need to invest. Government will create the environment they need, but we need the private sector. And that's why we told them that it doesn't matter how much we talk, how wonderful and successful the conference takes place. We need their money. But we don't want them to risk their money. We risk, we create a good environment as government, but at the same time we need them to invest and invest heavily. So they have to be at stake really free.
The Right Honorable Robina Nabanja called on stakeholders to support the preparations for the forum, which will be held from April the 9th to 11th, 2025 at Speke Resort Munyonyo.
I call upon more stakeholders to come on board and support the preparations of the 11th session of the African Regional Forum on Sustainable Development for God and my country.